Hey guys, so episode 2 of season 14 gave us a lot of backstory of Nick's history before being possessed by Lucifer, which is odd considering this was never explored for all those years since Lucifer possessed Nick. But despite its random addition this season, obviously to give Mark Pellegrini some screen time after Lucifer supposedly died, and despite it taking much needed focus away from the boys, which is an issue I always criticize in the recent seasons of Supernatural, it is still interesting to learn about and explore the storyline as Mark Pellegrini shows off his masterful acting skills in conveying Nick's post-Lucifer trauma, or maybe Lucifer is not really gone after all. Well, that's a whole other video already made about the theories that Lucifer is not actually dead. In this video I'll focus on the theories that Nick actually murdered his own family. That would be one hell of a twist, even if some of us saw it coming based on the information we got in the latest episode. So, is it possible that Nick was a damaged psycho way before Lucifer even contacted him, to the point of him murdering his own family and somehow blacking that out of his memory after getting out of Lucifer's possession? Trying to blame some boogeyman for breaking into his house while he wasn't there and murdering his family, which prompted a psychological break that made him a prime candidate to be manipulated and possessed by Lucifer. I think it's an intriguing and very possible theory. Even if Nick did not realize his own hidden evil at the time when Lucifer contacted him and thought someone else did it, this would still align with him opening up to being possessed by Lucifer. Either way, Lucifer wins.
I mean, there was a witness who came forward and said they saw someone coming out of the house, and then they said they didn't see anything at all, and the case died. Like everything else.
There is one interesting detail in the latest episode that really caught my attention about the story of Nick's family murder. Nick talks to the cops in his town and learns that his neighbor witnessed a man coming out of his house at the time of the murder, and then changed his story later and said he saw no one. At first glance, you would simply suspect the man is lying and hiding something, right? Maybe he was paid off, as Nick suggested later, or threatened, or maybe he murdered the family himself and is making up stories to confuse the cops. But then I thought of something else much more interesting that could explain that discrepancy in the man's testimony. Could it be possible that someone wiped the man's memory about what he actually saw after his first testimony to cover up for someone? Could Lucifer himself have done it through an earlier temporary vessel to keep Nick in the dark about his own psychotic state? To keep him thinking someone else might have done it when his neighbor actually saw Nick coming out and doing it. I think that would be a very interesting angle to go with. Although I would question why Lucifer wouldn't have just killed the neighbor to shut him up instead of softly wiping his memory. Lucifer hasn't been known to be gentle until maybe the last season with the attempt at his redemption arc that eventually failed anyway. So I wouldn't think he would go gentle on the neighbor back then if he actually just wanted to erase the truth. He would just kill him instead of wiping his memory. But for argument's sake, let's say possibly that could have happened, and that would explain why the man changed his testimony later if it's not something like typically shady, like the man is just lying, you know? That'd be an interesting angle to go with, I think. Another side theory is that Lucifer either killed Nick's family himself or he had demons do it to make it easy for him to get into Nick basically in his traumatic state. But I personally don't believe that's what happened. It just sounds too simple for my liking. I'd like to think the writers will come up with something much more creative, like the main theory I discussed in this video. So what do you guys think really happened to Nick's family? Did he do it himself or did someone else do it? Possibly Lucifer or his minions. Let me know down below your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more awesome supernatural content. Till next time, as always, no chick flick moments.
Awesome. That's awesome. Right. Come on.
You know what? You're awesome.
Thanks. You too, I guess.